opportunity and for them to get their land legs back before they're brought into the medical tent to have their SOCA launch and entry suits removed. They'll be placed into more comfortable clothing, receive initial medical tests, and then we'll board the helicopters. You'll be on board one of those helicopters with Tracy Dyson heading back to Karaganda.
Yep, after we get the crew out, they do their brief medical checks here and then move over to the tent. Once they're done with all the medical checks and field tests in the tent, they will then board their helicopters back to Karaganda. And yeah, Tracy's going to be on my helicopter with the rest of the NASA personnel that are out here at the landing site. And it looks like they are getting ready to bring some of the crew out. I can see one of the search and recovery personnel up on the top kind of leaning into the capsule, looking like they might be assisting bringing out the crew now.
And there's a view of the RSC Energia personnel at the very top of the SOYUZ spacecraft. They will be removing some equipment to clear the path, if you will, for the crew members to be extracted one by one. Once they get out of that top hatch, they'll sit on the edge of the top of the SOYUZ on this ladder platform, if you will, before they're carefully helped down to the ground and brought to the chairs that you see there in this field of view. There's a combination of program officials, Russian nurses, and as well as NASA personnel who have been embedded with the search and recovery forces, the Rosaviatsa forces, who quickly made their way after the SOYUZ touchdown, with landing occurring just 20 minutes ago. Those helicopters landed in sequential fashion just a couple of minutes after the SOYUZ touchdown to begin the process of enabling the extraction of the crew, which should get underway just a few minutes from now.
Yeah, that's right. It was a super speedy process once the capsule touched down. Pretty much as soon as the capsule landed, the helicopters started to touch down around it, and then we were the very last helicopter on the ground, and that only took about 5 minutes after landing, so definitely very quick. Open here, we can see the first SOYUZ crew member coming out the capsule.
And the first crew member, likely Oleg Kononenko, the SOYUZ commander, being helped out of the center seat. And there he is. 374 days in space on this flight, waving to the crowd. 1,111 days in space on his 5 space flights.
He's now coming down the slide, and he'll be getting into his chair over right in front of the capsule, where he'll be checked out by some of his Roscosmos medical personnel and others. And then it looks like they're already working to get the next crew member out. Move him up. And it sounds like NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson may be the next one out of the capsule. The flight surgeon, Natasha Cho, is out here waiting to greet Tracy as soon as she comes out.
Anna, we had a beautiful view of the SOYUZ under its chute, almost from the time of chute deploy. We saw the venting of the hydrogen peroxide from the tanks. We saw the heat shield being jettisoned. And of course, the touchdown with the soft landing engines firing just a couple of seconds before the SOYUZ made its way back to the surface.
Again, here at the landing site, we're just waiting and standing by as they continue to extract the crew. Of course, we have the first crewmate already out, Oleg Kononenko, and now we're waiting for Tracy Dyson and Nikolai Chuk to make their way out. And from our vantage point, the landing and the SOYUZ capsule under it shoots for picturesque and a beautiful landing from where we were in the helicopter as well.
We are watching Oleg Kononenko as the recovery personnel are attending to him and waiting for the other crew members to be extracted out of the top of the SOYUZ MS-25.
And looks like our next crew member is coming out. Should be Tracy Dyson.
There comes Tracy.
And there's NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson making her way out. She's turning around and then she'll go down the slide. All smiles on her face currently as she's being helped out. And now Tracy Dyson is being helped over to her chair where she'll get those initial medical checks before they move into the Orange Medical Tent about 50 yards away from here.
Dyson wrapping up 184 days in space, 373 days on her third space flight.
That's it, thank you.
And as they work to extract the third and final crew member, Nikolai Chuk, Tracy Dyson is over getting those initial medical checks. She's all smiles. She's talking to Chief Astronaut Joe Kava. They were talking about how amazing the ride was and how glad she is to be back. And I don't know if y'all can see from your camera view, but there's also a crowd of tourists actually out here, all wearing their orange shirts that came to watch the landing, and they're all close up right behind the tape that was put up.
I'm gonna take his gloves.
Once again, good views from the landing site of the crew members. Tracy Dyson, who is talking to her family on a satellite phone hookup. They're here in Mission Control in the viewing room. And there's Nikolai Chub, wrapping up the first flight in his career, a record-setting 374 days aboard the International Space Station, the longest flight along with Kononenko for a single flight on the orbital outpost. 1 year ago, Sergei Prokopyev, Dmitry Petelin, and NASA's Frank Rubio wrapped up 371 days in space. Kononenko and Chub eclipsed that mark last Friday. And we have NASA Public Affairs Officer Anna Schneider back on the line with us. Anna, give us a look-see as to what's going on at the landing site. And sometimes is roses were given to Tracy Dyson by Oleg Novitsky, who was the SOYUZ commander with whom she launched with back in March on what amounted to a taxi flight for Novitsky and Belarus spaceflight participant Marina Vasilevskaya. That was the crew that brought Laurel O'Hara home after her 6 months aboard the International Space Station.